is being charged with offenses under the Cyber Crimes Act. He said that his utterances, the verbal utterances, amounts to the violation of Section 22, which deals with the data violation. So Mr. Koimburi perhaps is a computer or a phone gadget that is capable of making those violations. They have taken him to Kamukonji right now. They have refused to give him bail, but we are also engaging other facilities to ensure that we secure his freedom.
Koimburi is accused of saying something, demanding accountability for use of public resources. Even if that was to be true, then a member of parliament represents the people. The issue of speaking as regarding accountability is asking how money has been spent.
He's been charged with his FIFRAs. They should hurry up and take him to Milimani Commercial Court so that we can go and oppose the charge. But I want to say that one of the biggest tasks Honorable Koimburi has is to impeach President Ruto. That particular allegation is sufficient ground to bring upon him an impeachment motion on the floor of the House.
We have witnessed today is the same tactics used by President Ruto to intimidate, to silence, and try to keep those who criticize him, keep them quiet so that they don't say anything. But I think, looking at the things, I think Raila's defeat at the AUC imeuma watu sana, au kwa serikali imewauma, and that's why they are now taking every single opportunity that they have to try to harass a member of parliament.
Both houses of parliament, the Senate and the National Assembly, took time to mourn the late Malulu Injendi, member of parliament for Malava constituency, after a long battle with illness. Injendi has been one of the long-serving MPs in the National Assembly, having been elected in 2013 under the 11th Parliament. Injendi has been mourned by colleagues including Speaker Moses Wetangula, the Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, and the Minority Leader Junet Mohamed.
Malulu exemplified three important virtues. One was the humility, two, simplicity, and three, service to the people. And I remember that Malulu contributed so much to the development of legislation in the National Assembly then.
Mr. Speaker, both members have worked with them, and I worked with Honorable Injendi on 11th Parliament, where I chaired the Committee on Education. He was one of the greatest supporters who contributed immensely in education. Mr. Injendi, Honorable Injendi, was also a lecturer and a person who also loved the Catholic faith. We will all remember him wearing his crucifix, and he was a very humble man.
And Malulu, the late Malulu, Honorable Speaker, again is a leader who exemplified himself as a servant, true servant of the people, and a true believer. Honorable Speaker, many members will bear me witness that the late Malulu never left his rosary wherever he went. And those who have served with the late Malulu in this house, those of the Catholic faith, will remember that Malulu Injendi at all times had his rosary with him. And many of us nicknamed him Bishop. And indeed, where he used to sit, just behind where Donna Boykana is seated, he had a permanent position there, and every time as we walked out, we would say hi to him and call him Bishop.
Grief and a somber mood engulfed the home of Malava Member of Parliament Moses Malulu Injendi following his demise at a Nairobi hospital after a short illness. Hundreds of his constituents and relatives thronged his home near Malava town soon after word went around that the local legislator had last evening lost the battle for his life while undergoing treatment in Nairobi. Mourners and relatives interviewed described the former Member of Parliament as a leader who unified the region. They concurred that his death was a great loss to the country. His brother Eddie Savula Kwalanda and clan elder Peter Maasai called leaders and area residents to join the family at the difficult moment in order to give the late MP a befitting send-off.
Daka mheshimiwa, nimehuzunika kupoteza ndugu yangu. Ndugu yangu alikuwa mzuri, alikuwa amenipenda.
Kama wakazi wa Kakamega tumepoteza kiongozi shupavu, kiongozi ambaye alikuwa anajua kukaa na wananchi, haswa wananchi wa Kakamega Malava. Amekaa na sisi, amejiunga na vijana wadogo, amejiunga na kila mtu katika hii constituency.
Mheshimiwa ametufanyia katika constituency hii si ya kulinganisha na mtu yote. Tumempoteza kiongozi, tumempoteza mzazi, tumempoteza mjomba na tumempoteza mtu ambaye ni ndugu ya kila mtu.
Tumepata piko kubwa sana kwa hii Malava, kwa sababu nikiangalia sijui mtu mwingine atatokea wapi mwenye atatungoja vile kama Mheshimiwa Malulu alikuwa ametungoja. Sisi watu wake tukitembea na yeye, Mheshimiwa alikuwa ametungoja vizuri, tulikuwa tunatembea na yeye kona zote na alikuwa anatufunza mafunzo mzuri sana. Lakini kwa hivi sasa saa hii kwa hii Malava nikiangalia sana sijui mtu mwingine atatoka wapi kama Malulu wa Injendi.
Ndio nikasoma. Mheshimiwa amekuwa mtu mzuri, amelinda wamama, amejengea watu mayatima manyumba, watu wenye hawajiwezi amewasaidia. Tumehuzunika sana kama wakazi wa Malava.
Kuja hapa kusema pole kwa familia kwa kumpoteza Mheshimiwa Malulu Injendi, mjumbe wa Malava constituency.
Vile mwenyekiti wetu amesema, tuliingia kwenye bunge wakati mmoja 2013, tumekuwa marafiki na isitoshe bibi wake na bibi yangu ni madada. Tulijikuta kwamba tuko katika bunge moja kama jamii moja.
Indeed, our condolences to the family. Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki this morning met leaders from Meru County at his current residence, including governors and senators from the region. The consultative forum was called by the DP as they seek to speak on matters development for Meru. The Deputy President has been on a charm offensive, wooing leaders from various regions and meeting them at the current residence.
People can do business in an ordinary way. So this infrastructure of roads, electricity, water, ICT, special economic zones, county aggregation and industrial parks, and so forth, and markets, we are on top of things. God has been gracious. The economy has recovered. We now have money. And I want to announce, we will revive the stalled road projects in Meru County. So leo hakuna haja hata muniambie sijui Senti Kunene kwenda Miamponi sijui ingine those roads natembea nazo zikiwa hapa. Okay? They will be revived. They will be revived. Na tafadhali tuambiane ukweli. These roads were begun in President Uhuru's time, isn't it? Lakini ile kisirani iko is as if it is William Ruto who started these roads and stalled them. These roads were begun in 2015, 2016, and they stalled even in the first term of Uhuru Kenyatta. Na hakuna mtu alipigia Uhuru Kenyatta makelele. Tuambiane ukweli. Tuambiane ukweli. Some of them, like zile kule Tharaka Nithi, I'm the one when I was Senate Majority Leader who launched most of them. The others, President Uhuru came himself with his deputy. The inter-county ones, like hii ya Geaki Miamponi, tulifanya na Daudi. Tulitumwa na Uhuru Kenyatta, tukafanya na Daudi. Ile ya kuteremukia hapo kushikanisha Tharaka na sehemu hii ya Imenti North. Lakini ile kelele rais anapigiwa is as if those roads were started yesterday and they stopped.
Members of Parliament on Tuesday took the opportunity to formally react to the loss of Raila Odinga at the African Union Commission chairperson elections that occurred on Saturday. A section of members of Parliament have slammed those who celebrated the loss, terming it unpatriotic and lack of purpose.
Of this soil, Honorable Speaker, it was just bad luck because those other countries feared Honorable Raila because he had a plan to come and change the whole of Africa. And some of them maybe did not want, but we want to say that God bless him.
I can't miss a man who had goodwill and the strength of Pan-Africanism and a person who would have taken Africa to the next level. Mr. Speaker, also let me appreciate the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable William Ruto, because he showed the way he took the oath. Baba was his opponent, but he took it up. He went across the globe. He hosted several heads of state.
One of them is Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And his purpose in life is service to humanity. It doesn't matter how much people want to pour in dirt on him. Younger generations who do not know what he has done over the years, you can never take away his ikigai. And I would want to encourage those who are busy talking a lot of nonsense around him, find your own purpose in life and live it fully and never retire.
There must be a winner and there must be a loser. And you can also go on a draw. Mr. Speaker, it is not easy to raise the confidence of over 20 presidents of a country, Mr. Speaker. You have seen the first round, he got 22 votes. Those are 22 countries that have faith and confidence in the candidature of Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, Mr. Speaker. Many of us, if we were to contest, we might not even get 2 presidents or 3, Mr. Speaker, or even one vote of a president, Mr. Speaker. But he could manage to raise those numbers because he's a Pan-Africanist, he's known in this continent, and he has done and participated in many things affecting this country, Mr. Speaker.
Hundreds of Bungoma residents took to the streets in a peaceful protest against threats to impeach National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula. The demonstrators, accompanied by boda riders, condemned opposition members of parliament for calling for Wetangula's removal over alleged bias in parliamentary proceedings. They urged President William Ruto to protect him, citing his loyalty and role in advancing Kenya Kwanza's agenda. The protesters recalled Ruto's 2022 visit to Bungoma County, where he endorsed Wetangula for speaker, assuring that Kenya Kwanza had the numbers to elect him back then.
Tumeona iko watu wanajaribu kuchezea Bungoma, Western hatuna mulima. Sisi tuliwachagua mwende mfanyie wananchi wa Kenya kazi. Lakini kama nyinyi kwa bunge mnaangalia tumbo zenu kama hazijashiba ama zimeshiba. Sisi kama wananchi ambao tunatetea wananchi wa kawaida tunasema hatutakubali. Kama ni maandamano kuja katika bunge tutafika huko. Tunataka wabunge mfanye kazi iliyowapeleka kwa bunge. Sio kupigana vita hapa na pale. Wala si kupiga spika wetu vita. Weta amesoma, yeye ni lawyer. Anajua ile kitu anafanya kwa bunge. Mchezo ambayo unaendelea katika serikali kuu. Tunaomba heshima ambayo tukiwapea kura irudishwe pande hii. Hatutaki waanze kuvuruka mtoto yetu, na hiyo ndio kiti peke yake ambaye tunaangalia. Huyo ndio baba yetu ya huku, na huyo ndio Weta atakuweko, hatatolewa tena, na sisi hatutakubali. Kama ni maandamano, tutafanya maandamano mpaka Nairobi. Hatutakubali watachezea mtoto yetu wakidhani hako peke yake.
Wow, interesting. Now, civil rights organizations have announced plans to stage demonstrations at Kenya's parliament buildings and the Ugandan embassy to demand the immediate release of Dr. Kizza Besigye and other political prisoners. In a joint statement, the group said the continued detention of Besigye and other political prisoners contravenes a Supreme Court of Uganda decision declaring unconstitutional the trial of civilians before a military court. Dr. Besigye's health is deteriorating following a hunger strike.
Call on the Ugandan authorities to immediately release Kizza Besigye, Haj Obeid Lutale, Aaron Kizza, and others who are unlawfully detained.
And we are calling upon the Kenyan government and the Kenyan authority to recognize that they have a duty, a fundamental duty, to protect the Constitution and all the rights which have been envisioned there, provided there. And secondly, we have to keep on reminding the current regime that they need to remember at the end of it all, under the international law, which is part and parcel of the Kenyan law, pursuant to Article 2 of the Kenyan Constitution, they shall be held responsible for their conduct.
To condemn the detention and the continued holding of
Dr. Kizza Besigye in the military jails in Uganda. And we are calling all the cases that is in Tanzania, in Uganda, and even in Kenya, and all the citizens, that it's not right to hold or to detain any person who is fighting for the right.
I would like to implore for the East Africans and the citizens in particular to understand that we need to unite against such abductions, because leaders have to understand to be critical, to be a political opposition member is not a crime.
The principle should be that the right to life is indivisible and cannot be quantified, and that once that is violated, the perpetrators are just as guilty or liable as if it happened to 100, 110 or so people.
Wale wote ambao wameshtakiwa kwa mahakama ya kijeshi ambao kesi zao zinaendelea ama wameweza kukata rufaa ama kwa njia moja ama nyingine kupinga kesi hizi kuweza kuachiliwa ama kesi zao kupelekwa kwa koti za kawaida ambazo zinahusiana na wananchi.
Call on the Ugandan
Chief Justice Martha Koome has outlined 5 guidelines that the National Council on the Administration of Justice will be undertaking in the fight against corruption in the judiciary. Speaking during a press conference in Mombasa, Koome revealed that the council had committed to adhering to the 5 practices as they continue to structure a framework to curb corruption, which will be launched in March this year. The second affirmation Koome revealed was improved legal, policy and administrative environments. This, she said, was due to existing administrative impediments such as the duplication of offences and laws.
We appreciate that the justice sector institutions represented here play a crucial role, and we all have a primary role in creating awareness. We have to walk this journey with Kenyans, assuring them they have to say no to corruption and uphold us to account to what we call zero tolerance to corruption. We have to prevent corruption at all costs in all our institutions. We have to support the investigating arm. We have also to protect the witnesses who owned very crucial evidence that will enable our institutions deal with issues of corruption firmly. We have to prosecute these corruption cases efficiently and expeditiously. We have painstakingly developed and draft anti-corruption strategic guiding framework to which we are finalizing here and which we are going to launch in the month of March. And this is the framework that is guiding each and every one of us on how to effectively address the issues of corruption in all its facets.
All right, at that point, allow us to take a quick break. We'll be back shortly with more news making headlines. Stay with us. Speaking at the 10th Annual SACCO Leaders Convention held in Mombasa, the CS noted that individuals found guilty of misappropriating funds will face legal consequences, reinforcing the commitment to protect members' investments. Oparanya highlighted that he recently submitted a forensic audit report on the Kenya Union of Savings and Credit Cooperatives, KUSCO, to the Inspector General of Police, which has already sparked investigations into the alleged financial irregularities.
To protect the integrity of SACCO sector, the government is implementing decisive measures to address financial mismanagement. Individuals found culpable will be held accountable through the appropriate legal and administrative frameworks. Last week, has submitted a forensic audit report on financial mismanagement at Cusco to the security agencies, and investigations are already underway. And as you are aware, those who are apprehended and are suspected to have been involved will appear before court today. Moving forward, similar measures will be taken against any cooperative leaders who misappropriate or mismanage members' funds. Let me clear, this will no longer be tolerated.
Assure our members that everything is safe, because I heard people want to withdraw from SACCOs because they are saying if the big mother is the one that has the problems, then our money is not safe. Assure them that everything is now fine. We are doing what we can do. To do what? To make sure Cusco is back. We are also recovering loans. People who had taken loans are not paying. We are on them. We are going to recover the money from those who have taken the money.
Journalists in Taita Taveta County staged a demonstration in Mwatate town, marching to Governor Andrew Mwadime's office to demand action against County Executive Committee member for Health Gifton Mkaya. The journalists are protesting against Mkaya's alleged defamatory remarks, which he claimed he could not invite the media for briefings because they demand payment for coverage. The journalists now want the Governor Mwadime to intervene and take action against the CSC member, insisting that county officials must respect the press.
We are here to make it clear that we will not tolerate disrespect, intimidation, or falsehoods meant to discredit this noble profession, journalism. It is important to note that Mr. Mkaya was asked to issue an apology over his remarks, but in his usual recadicatory, he chose not to do. This does not even manifest to arrogancy, but a state officer whose life is sustained by the taxpayers, but also a spin in the face of the county government that is headed by Governor Andrew Mwadime. That is a shame to the public in Taita Taveta. Having no other choice, today we are convinced Mr. Mkaya is unfit to hold any public office, and as the Taita Taveta Media Association and Press Club, therefore today demand the following: that Mr. Mkaya voluntarily resigns now. That Governor Andrew Mwadime fires Mr. Mkaya and replaces him with a more competent person who believes in the county vision for a functional health sector.
Si kitu cha siri, wakazi wa kaunti ya Taita Taveta wanafahamu kwamba huduma za afya zina changamoto nyingi. Hilo ni jambo la kawaida. Na sisi pia kama waandishi wa habari, pia sisi ni wakazi wa kaunti hii ya Taita Taveta. Wote tunatumia zile vituo vya afya vya umma. Na ukifika pale pia tunapata changamoto. Mara unapata hakuna madawa, mara unapata kitu hakiko. Kwa hivyo si kitu ambacho kwamba sisi licha kama ni waandishi wa habari hatujui. Pia sisi tuna feeling ya hizi hali. Lakini katika swala zima la kufisha moyo ni kwamba wakati waziri anatoa madai ya kwamba sisi anakataa kutuongelesha sisi kwa sababu tunamuitisha pesa na ameshindwa kutoa dhibitisho. Kitu ambacho kinasikitisha zaidi ni kwamba wananchi kule nje kumekuwa na madai kwamba sisi waandishi wa habari tumezimwa na viongozi tumezimwa, nikana kama tunashirikiana na serikali ya county kwamba hatuwezi zungumza yale maovu ambayo serikali inafanya. Lakini tukienda kujaribu kutafuta hizo taarifa, unapata mawaziri hawako informed. Mara nyingi unapata governor ndiye mtu ambaye anaonekana ana ufahamu zaidi kushinda mawaziri wake ambao mawajiri.
All right, let's get sporty. Ulinzi Warriors emerged victorious with a narrow 49-46 win over USIU Flames in a nerve-wracking Kenya National Basketball League showdown played at the Nyayo National Indoor Basketball Arena. The high-stakes encounter saw Ulinzi overcome a shaky start to secure a crucial victory, boosting their hopes of breaking into the league's top four. Despite early struggles and missed opportunities, the Warriors showcased resilience, clawing their way back into contention with a dominant third-quarter performance. USIU came out firing, capitalizing on Ulinzi's sluggishness in the opening quarters. Joshua Athiang was the driving force for USIU, delivering a stellar performance with a game-high 21 points.
It was a tough game, as you can see, low scoring. My boys started off low, but we picked it up from the third and fourth quarter. So, but USIU is also one of the best teams in the league, and they did a good job on this. We geared to the second leg. So, I mean, we're also hoping that we'll also step up to the standards of the league and hopefully win the league.
Actually, the game today has been entertaining. It was a tough, good game, competitive. All the teams showed their competitiveness, and we lost the game because of the last 2, 3, 4 mistakes, which are human. We're going to go back and try to refocus again on the next match.
All right, and that sports story over the Kenya National Basketball League leads us to the end of our broadcast tonight. Thank you for watching. I hope that you are up to speed on what is making headlines across the country. Our sign language interpreter for tonight has been Laura Omondi. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. From both of us and the gentlemen in studio tonight, good night.